Hello everyone, it's Diane at the Creative Bohemian. What you're looking at right now is my latest project. This is a storybook cottage I created some years back, and it is almost finished. But what it doesn't have is any furniture. So that is going to be my latest project. I can tell you a little bit about the house. The floors are wood, individual pieces of wood that I placed and aged so it would look old. On the walls is paper clay. I covered the walls with paper clay and wood strips, and I gave it a antique look by giving it a brown wash. On the walls are storybook images that I took off the internet and printed out in a sepia color. This one is St. George and the Dragon. One back there is Little Bo Peep. And then this one over here is, I think that is either Cinderella or Sleeping Beauty. I don't even remember. Now we come down to the first floor. Here's the front door, looking out onto my desk. And on top of here, I have Rapunzel here. I have Beauty and the Beast here. And if we can get a good look at that one. That one is another one I don't remember. I'm not sure. I'll have to get a better look at it and tell you afterwards. And on this side is a window. And the windows are an interesting thing that happened. They were like a happy accident. What happened was I originally wanted them to be lead windows. So I took plumber's tape. It's silver tape that you wrap around pipes when you're doing plumbing. I took that and I cut it into very thin strips, and I used that to create the pattern, the leaded pattern on the windows. And it was fine at first, but over the years it just started peeling off and left only the residue behind from the glue from the tape. So that's how that happened, and I get a lot of compliments on it. So instead of fixing it, I just left it. Let me know what you think, if you even think those look cool or not, or if they look like they need to be redone. And this is a floor which is also made from paper clay, and I just formed that out of one sheet of paper clay I laid down, and I just molded out each brick by hand, and then gave it a wash of several colors to age it. So that's the house inside, and we need to add furniture. So what I'm doing is I've been just trying to find boxes that would fit, like this jewelry box kind of fits the size that I need it to be. I don't want it to be too big. I don't want it to fit the whole room. It's a storybook cottage, so it's not going to be in human 1/12 scale, meaning that the dolls that are 5.5 inches are not going to be living in this house. It's going to probably be more of a storybook other being. I'm not too sure what. I don't know what the story is yet behind it. Maybe some of you have ideas for who would be living in a storybook decorated house. Not sure. So that would be the bed. And something like this, I would put like a trunk here. I don't want to cover the wall completely, so that's why I didn't put the bed over here. I put it in this corner, caddy corner, so that I could give it a bit of a headboard, but not one that would cover the walls. So that is the upstairs basic basic ideas. And then down here, I have the fireplace, which is a point of focus, but it's also missing a table and chairs. Now, I have been recommended that I make this the Three Bears cottage and have a table and 3 chairs, 3 bowls, 3 cups, that kind of thing. And actually, I thought that was a very cute idea. But as I'm going to be looking for size, I came up with using an old, one of my, the words right there, spools of ribbon. And I figured that was a good size for the table size. Perhaps even a little bit smaller if I cut off this. And that'll be the base. And then I'll just have chairs, fairly small chairs, around the table. Maybe 3, maybe more, or maybe just 2. I'm not too sure yet. But that is my idea, and that's what I'm going to be working on soon. And now the way that I'm going to be making the furniture is I am going to be sculpting it over a wire armature with paper clay. I had thought of doing it with polymer clay, but I was not too sure that that's the way I wanted to go. And I'll make that decision as I'm working. Once I make the metal armatures, I will probably decide whether it's going to be paper clay or not. Now, let me turn this around and show you what the outside looks like. Okay, this is the outside. This is the front. I believe, as I said in the beginning, that I believe that this is the Arthur by Greenleaf. I cannot remember. I have a very bad memory for things like that. I added the benches in the front myself. I thought that they were a cute idea, putting garden benches right in the front. I will eventually put the whole house on a stand, on a base, and I'll film that for you too so that you see how I do it. But the shingles are the original dollhouse shingles that you can get everywhere in most dollhouse suppliers. What I did was I got bored with the look of it. I didn't really want it all to be this shape. So what I did is I took each one of these, split it in half, turned it around, and used it that way to make the straight variegated there tiles for the roof. And then I ended it with the solid full-size tiles. Now, let me move the house so you can see this. Out of paper clay, I made the chimney and aged that so it looked like a little bit of sooty and old and aged. I think the way that I'm going to finish this is I'm going to end up putting some kinds of poles here, and I'm also going to put a lot of greenery. And then what we got here on this side is that big window in the side of the house. I made the brick the same way I made the floor inside, with paper clay also, and just molded the bricks one by one by hand, and then painted them in varying shades of brown, gray, and black. So I added this trim, specifically I bought for that. And as I said, this has been an ongoing project that just never got finished. I must have done this, I would say, about 10 years ago. And now I'm ready to finish it. So let's turn it around. And what we're going to be doing is the furniture coming up. I think I'll start with the table and chairs, and that will be in my next video. I hope you'll tune in and see how I do it, how I form the armature, and how I sculpt the furniture itself. This is Diane. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I would love to hear your opinion about the project coming up and what you would do to make the furniture if you had this project to do. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.